In this lesson, we will explain how to go from an idea to a business. The entrepreneurial process indeed starts with a business idea, but requires serious planning before the execution takes place. We will focus now exactly on that, the business planning part of the process. Before we start, I would like to reiterate that a startup is not just a small version of a large company. Startup is something very different and unique. The main fallacy related to this point is the difference in business planning. Large companies traditionally plan their businesses by relying on the so-called waterfall development process. What the waterfall development process requires is to have a very good knowledge and requirements of all the steps in the process in advance. While this might work for a large established company, startups do not have existing products, existing customers, existing sales channel, and so on. Startups rather need to create the requirements and build and refine the remaining steps iteratively. For instance, to write down the requirements and to do the design, one is required to know customers' needs in great detail. In other words, one needs to know exactly product feature in advance. Startups typically only have a vision or hypothesis about those, but still have to find a way to confirm them, or even change them along the process to make a better fit between the features of the product and the customer needs. In order to efficiently do so, they cannot engage in a linear waterfall process, which does not allow flexible update of previous steps. Startups require a more flexible and agile approach that will facilitate their development process. They need to be able to constantly test the environment and update their business plan. This search process for the right business plan will allow you to eventually execute it successfully. There is one more important fallacy about a startup being just a small version of a large company. If startups would do the same as large companies, they would need to organize a company around functional groups: sales department, marketing department, engineering department, and so on. And they would need to draw an organization chart with this functional division. Startups cannot actually do this. There might not even be enough people to cover all the possible functions. So finally, let's answer the question: what is the most appropriate approach to plan a business for startups? Startups should focus on a business model. Now, what is a business model? Business model is a schematic plan of how to organize your company and its activities to first create value, second deliver it to the customers, and finally capture some of that value back, that is, make profits. Thinking about the business model is not straightforward. Hence, in order to make sure we cover all the important elements, we will rely on a well-established approach developed by Alex Ostenwalder and his company Strategizer called Business Model Canvas. The canvas will allow you to efficiently organize your thoughts around the hypothesis about all the relevant parts of the business, and as you go on, it will allow you to refine this operational plan by confirming the initial hypothesis with facts or rejecting and redefining the initial hypothesis into more realistic ones. Now, let's see how this business model canvas actually looks like. It is a diagram that has 9 elements divided in 2 broad groups. First, group which tells us which value your company will create, for whom this value is going to be for, and how your company will deliver and capture value. These are the elements that should be easily observable even from outside of the company. The second group of elements explains the underlying implementation and core of your company. That is, how your company is really going to create the value, and what will your company need to do it. Let's break down these 2 groups into basic components and start from the right-hand side. First, you need to understand who are you talking to. That is, who are your potential customers and how they can be grouped or segmented with respect to their specific needs. Second, for each customer segment, you will have an appropriate value proposition. That is, for each customer group, you will need to define what value you want to create and deliver to them. Third, you will need to think how you want to reach these customers. How do you want to communicate with them? How will you deliver the goods? Fourth, you need to decide what kind of relationship you want to have with your customers. And fifth, what are the customers really willing to pay for and how? Furthermore, the left-hand side group that explains the underlying implementation and value creation consists of the following. First, which resources do I really need to create value? Second, what do you as a company really need to do? What are the key activities that you need to master to be successful? Third, as you can't do everything on your own, who are the key partners you need? And last but not least, having all the previous components in place, you will be able to easily sketch your expected costs. When all these elements are put together, you get a comprehensive overview of your business, summarized in what we call a business model canvas, and you can proceed with the next phase of the entrepreneurial process, execution. Remember though that the canvas will be both your guideline, but also a platform to constantly refine and improve your business model.